The Weather Show with Vin Crosby cannot operate without great sponsors. And the Spa and Pool Center, they've been in business for 30 years. They're a great sponsor. Yep, the Spa and Pool Center on Fairview, you know where they're at, just across from Winco. You can also find them at the spaandpoolcenter.com, or you can call them at 376-1514. And speaking of pools, you know it only takes them about 2 weeks to get a pool installed. That's right. Fast, effective, and you could be jumping in those cool waters when that sun is baking. So thanks to our great sponsor, the Spa and Pool Center of Boise. You can go and check them out online at the spaandpoolcenter.com or 376-1514. That's 376-1514. The Weather Show, happy to partner with the Spa and Pool Center. I'm meteorologist Vin Crosby with the Weather Show on YouTube, and I'll tell you what, this is perspective. We were here just about a month ago, and the water was literally up to this walkway, raging through here. Remember that? Trees down, floating, jammed up against things. Now we see just how high and how vicious this flood was. I mean, look how far the river is. I mean, it's about 60, 70 yards out there and moving pretty freely now that the water has been dropped down below the flood stage. And you can also see how much debris is back here in this park. I mean, it was just washed away. This is usually a place where people come to picnic and hang out, and I mean, it's gutted right now across the region. So we're going to give you different vantage points. I'm going to go and take some pictures from the other side of the river looking this way and give you perspective of just how deep the water got this year along the Boise River, and maybe talk to a few folks who are out playing along the river. And then the forecast coming up, we got some big storms coming our way. We're going to talk about that too. The model, this new model I've been discovering, I'm loving it. It's giving some real detailed forecast information over the course of each hour. So we're going to share that with you too. But first, I want to talk about the river. Just massive erosion across the region. Look at the root ball. This was just ripped right out of that force of the water, washing away its base, and so many trees just coming on down. You can see several down or hanging on by a thread right along the river base. Look at that one. I mean, that's like 2-3 feet of erosion right through there down on its root base. So all these trees are hanging on by a thread. This is why it's going to be safe. Not safe, rather, to float the river for quite some time because a lot of these trees, I mean, you come underneath one, they could just come down like that, especially in any high winds that come on through, even light winds down through the region because it's so unstable now across the region. This place just decimated, and this is just a small section of a popular area along the Boise River. We're talking miles and miles of river looking like this. It's going to be a long cleanup process. Obviously, the erosion massive across much of the Boise River, and you can really see underneath the overpass, underneath where the green belt is, just how high the water did get, and also take a look at the water really pushed over a lot of the trees and those islands in the middle. So the cleanup efforts are going to be tremendous. All right, the other big story today, obviously the heat. It is hot. I'm now over in Kleiner Park. You can see folks off playing in the water, enjoying the bubbling fountain, if you will, over there. Kids having a blast, but many people finding the shade and taking it a little easy, which you should do in some of these hot temperatures. Many areas in the upper 90s to around 100 degrees today in the Treasure Valley. All right, we're going to have a little bit of a light show tonight. We're looking southwest and over the Owahis, back over the village. You can see some of those cumulus clouds starting to build. There is a system that's going to move up through Nevada and kind of rotate on through. We're on the northern edge of that system, and so those clouds are going to come right at us and then kind of make a bank towards the east, head on down towards Mountain Home. But we'll be far enough north where we should not see those thunderstorms as far as feel the effects of the rain, maybe even the lightning, but we will see the lightning way off in the distance, so it should be pretty spectacular. Now, one model I have found I'm loving. It really nailed the thunderstorms we had the other night with the lightning that came on through. It was the only model that did that, and this forecast model has a cluster of storms making it into the Treasure Valley, then racing off down towards Mountain Home with wind gusts like up around 40 miles per hour. So I think this model is right on the money, and we're going to do a little bit more detailed detailed investigation, if you will, showing you the model of different things and right where that gust of wind will go. Check this out. Let's take a look at this computer forecast model, which renders by the hour in increments and goes over the next 16 half-hour intervals. So you can see there's a lot of precipitation down in the Gulf of Mexico. That is Tropical Storm Cindy. That'll continue dumping flooding-type rains all across southern areas of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and the panhandle of Florida. And then back up in the northwest, we see scattered showers and storms moving on through. They will continue to pulse up and rotate around the top of a ridge of high pressure just to our south. You can see them kind of moving right along the border and then making a beeline towards the east, right along or just below the Snake River Valley across southern areas of Idaho. And so this storm system that's pulsed up in the heat has some, a little concern to it because it does pulse up lots of reds and oranges right there in the middle coming off the Oahes. And anytime we get that type of configuration, we have to look at, the chances of maybe some downburst winds or gusts of winds that come on down through the Treasure Valley. So this storm right here, you can see it's real round, it's real symmetrical, and it's going to curve going towards the right. And anytime we get those downburst winds, they spread out from the center, and that's what we have to look out for tonight. This next map that you're going to see is actually wind. That's right. The model is picking up wind speeds, and so when you get in the reds, the pinks, and the whites, that's where the winds get pretty higher. But notice there's going to be a gust that kind of rolls through with that storm right there. You see it come right across the southern Idaho border, just over northern Utah. That's what we're going to have to look out for as we go through the overnight hours, especially around the southern areas of the Snake River Valley. And if you look to the south, once the sun starts to go down and skies get dark, there should be a little bit of a lightning show coming on through. But it's this system right here, this little bullseye, all the purples and the pinks, as you see off where I'm drawing the arrow of California, that's around 45-mile-per-hour winds in that purple shade. And notice that this storm right there has a little purple shade right in the middle of it. So there could be a little gust of wind of 45 miles per hour that kind of spreads out as the storm system curves towards the east. I'm meteorologist Vin Crosby from the Weather Show with Vin Crosby. You can find it on YouTube. Please subscribe. Tell your friends and family to do the same. Hey, at 1 p.m. today, I'll be over at Bricks and Minifigs teaching weather. They're on Fairview, so come on by. I think it's like $6, but bring your kids. I think the room holds like the 30 to 40, so we're going to have plenty of room for you to come on by and have some fun. We're going to make some weather Legos. Today, a big difference from yesterday in the sense that, it's going to be cooler. Temperatures not as hot, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler today. Highs still on the very warm side in the upper 80s to maybe near the low 90s. But the story today will be the wind. Wind coming on in from the northwest at around, say, 15 to 25 miles per hour. So it will get a little gusty at times, but still a wonderful day. Just, you may want to hold on to your hat at times. The nighttime temperatures are going to be comfortable. We're going to drop temperatures back over the next couple of days into the low 50s and maybe even to the upper 40s as a real good push of cooler air is going to make a run at us. But like many of these this time of the year, a lot of the cool air deflects east of the mountains, and so we still stay plenty warm. As you can see, though, temperatures falling back for daytime highs in the 70s to low 80s, at least for one day, and then the high pressure moves back in, the heat starts to build again, and temperatures are going to make a run at 100 degrees by Monday afternoon. And then going into next week, I still think that we'll see enough instability in the atmosphere to get a little bit of thunderstorm activity, and we could get a little bit more significant storm activity, possibly Monday night and Tuesday. That's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. Right now, the weekend looking fantastic across the region. Hey, this is the Weather Show with meteorologist Vin Crosby. Thanks for watching.